can manipulate like flat files. Similarly, you can go with the well-structured format. So, for maintaining databases, they have adopted different techniques. They had hierarchical databases, network databases, and ultimately they, developed a technique called as RDBMS. With help of that, these days people are managing databases. Apart from this RDBMS, we have one more technique which is emerging, that is called as NoSQL DBs. NoSQL databases, which are in fact emerging. So already few companies, they have adopted NoSQL DBs, they have started using it. So either we use RDBMS or we use our own flat files, or it is going to be NoSQL DBs. But most of the companies, they use the RDBMS. And few
But
companies, they are
RDBMS is a relational database, yes?
Yes, Stephen?
RDBMS is relational database, right?
Yes, relational database management system. But it is. So you contain in that tables, data you organize into tables. So yeah, the tables, exactly, they have to follow certain rules. They are called as basically normal forms. With the help of that, you can have integrity of data. You can have referential integrity. One more thing is,
yeah, exactly,
you can have actually consistent data in that. You can.
But NoSQL is for unstructured data.
See, NoSQL basically you don't use SQL. You are not going to use any SQL commands in this. It's going to be based on the JSON, JavaScript object notation. So here using NoSQL DBs also you can maintain data, but this is really very, very good. It's based on the Google. People are using this algorithm for this Google MapReduce algorithm. They are using Google MapReduce algorithm. With the help of that, they can maintain it. See, few databases right now which are being used are, one is MongoDB. We have one MongoDB. Then other one is Cassandra, and other one is from Amazon. Also, we have database. Amazon NoSQL DB is available. Even you can use them. So these are going to these depend very much on the JSON. JSON is one of the notations we use with the JavaScript. It's called a JavaScript object notation. So using JSON, you can be accessing data from the MongoDB, Cassandra, Amazon DynamoDB, I think. So you can be accessing them. Using like JavaScript object only, we are going to write. This is basically called as document-based database, and this one is actually relational database. It's a relational database. So in the relational database, you are going to save records. Just like one record you are going to save. But here you are going to save like one document. This is called as basically document-based databases. So here you take one JavaScript object, you are going to save that object there. JavaScript object you can be making there. This is called as JSON. Using JavaScript object notation, you save the records. So these days there is good demand for the NoSQL DBs also, like MongoDB, Cassandra, Amazon DynamoDB. So these people are using, and even RDBMS still in many areas they are using, but future is definitely going to be NoSQL DBs. These are becoming redundant very fast. They get outdated. RDBMS. Example of RDBMS is Oracle database. You take SQL Server, and other thing is MySQL. Okay, you have PostgreSQL. Then apart from that, IBM DB2. All these are nothing but different databases. Oracle.
What about Teradata?
Yes, Stephen.
What about Teradata?
Yes, Teradata is also one such RDBMS. You have Teradata, even that is also a database management system. It's a database management system. Apart from this, you have even other databases, very, very old, like Bitreeve database, and you have DBase 3 Plus. DBase 3, probably you know about this. DBase 3 Plus, Foxbase.
Oh my goodness.
FoxPro. So like this, you have. Even you can think Excel also is a kind of database. Excel also can be treated as a kind of database.
Access.
is MS Access is one such database. But Access, Excel, FoxPro, Foxbase, DBase 3 Plus, they can be called as personal databases. They don't have the required robustness. They are not robust. Okay, they are not totally following the RDBMS rules. In the case of FoxPro, Excel, Foxbase, DBase 3 Plus, Bitreeve, one file is equal to one table. When you take a file, that's equal to, when you take a table, the table is equal to one file. But whenever you handle the database using Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL, DB2, Teradata, how records are getting organized, how tables are getting organized, you don't have an idea. You are going to save data like data files. So whenever you talk about the database management systems, we use three terms. One is logical, then second thing is conceptual, other thing is going to be physical. So
This
we
is my
use
job,
these
sir, before.
conceptual. Then other thing is physical. Just a minute. Yes, please.
No, I'm telling you this. I work on Foxbase and Database 3 Plus and FoxPro for 10 years. I'm
Yes.
professional with these bases, but nobody uses them now.
These days they don't use, but still,
Not in America, at least.
no. I mean, even in US they are using, mostly still they are using these things. You take the traditional, I mean, legacy
I search,
applications, still
all,
they are using it. Main thing is
I, s-
they have traditional
yeah.
data, all data they have there. These new generation data probably they are not having, but old age data you have with them only. So that data they cannot simply throw away. They need to maintain those databases, or else they need to migrate the data into the latest databases.
They convert it to another databases.
Yes. So that's why what I say, if you know the earlier technologies, still you are
Yeah.
going to be in good demand. Suppose you work for a company, some company is looking for people who know about the FoxPro, Foxbase, DBase 3 Plus. So right now you cannot find people who can work on that because totally outdated. That's outdated. You cannot find people who can work on that. Still, if you
Yeah,
know those
that's right.
things, you are in demand. Your service are going to be in demand. If you know the modern databases and if you know the earlier legacy databases, then your service are going to be great demand. So here, in those days, they used to use DBase 3 Plus, Foxbase, FoxPro, even Lotus
So,
123,
so,
MS
sir,
Access.
can I add these to my resume, for example?
You can put in a
Database
resume.
2,
You know these things. You
Database
can
2,
put.
and
Yes.
Database 3.
But
I
see,
add
you
them
can put
now?
like this in your resume. You work
Yeah,
with migration projects. You migrate the data from these databases.
yeah.
From Bitreeve you migrated, from DBase 3 Plus, from Foxbase, FoxPro, you have migrated data
I,
to latest
I,
databases like Oracle, SQL
I,
Server, MySQL.
I,
To them, you
I
migrate
mean
data
now,
and input.
now at Adon Technology, I can add Database 2 and 3 Plus and Foxbase and FoxPro.
Yes,
I'm
you can
professional in
simply
this.
put. Yes, but how much experience you
Oh,
are going to put? How much experience you are going to put? That's going to be very important.
I have 10 years experience in this. I'm
Yes.
very professional in this one.
Yes, see, in the case of 10 years experience, in the last 10
Yeah.
years, you cannot say that you worked on those applications, but you worked with the migration projects. That is meaningful. Migration meaning is you have traditional databases, data was with
Yeah.
that, but you transferred the data, you moved data into new kind of databases like SQL Server, MySQL, like that you can put it.
Oh, you mean I can convert from these databases to Oracle or SQL
Yes,
Server like
SQL
this?
Server, like that you can put. That is more appropriate because in
Okay.
the last 10
Okay,
years
I
things have been
understand.
changed very much.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, if you put migration projects, it's meaningful when compared with still working with those applications because those applications,
Migration, sir? You said migration?
yes, migration you can say. You help people
Migration.
in moving data from legacy databases to latest databases, like that you can put.
To move data from. Okay.
So here RDMS stands for Relational Database Management Systems, Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL, DB2, Teradata. These can be, I mean, few commercial databases developed by commercial vendors. Oracle is from Oracle Corporation, SQL Server is from Microsoft, MySQL is also owned by Oracle Corporation, PostgreSQL is a open source database, somebody develops it. I developed it. I don't know much about that. But when you look at DB2, it's from the IBM. This was the very first database, in fact, developed as RDBMS. Prior to Oracle, this was DB2. That was developed by EF Card. EF Card developed it. So DB2 that was. Later on, Oracle, it emerged as actually leader in the RDBMS packages or RDBMS applications. So in 1977, first time they released Oracle. In 1977 for NASA, actually they developed a application with a database that was a success. Since then, Oracle actually had become leader in the RDBMS databases. Others are just following Oracle. Even SQL Server is gaining momentum these days. It's also becoming a full-fledged RDBMS, and it's gaining momentum and getting the reputation also. DB2, it's very much closed, I can say, in my opinion. It's only going to work with the IBM products mostly. Teradata they can use in number of areas. Similarly, this MySQL also open source people are using. But the two different these commercial databases which are used very much are one is Oracle, other one is SQL Server. Oracle is very costly, where you have lot of security, where you need a lot of security, and you have huge data. In that case, Oracle is better one. SQL Server it can be useful for a small company to very big company. So like this, people are going to use. All these are nothing but RDBMS packages. Using JDBC, you can be getting connected to these databases. You require appropriate drivers. With the help of that, you can get connected. Gaurav, just learning will not be sufficient. With learning, what happens? You understand how basically they are going to be working. Unless you practice thoroughly, rigorously with them, definitely it is not learning perfectly. Learning happens only when you practice it. Just if you attend sessions with that, you cannot get the required proficiency. You need to practice a lot on that. It takes years to get proficiency, and there is nothing like learning perfectly things. So depending on the requirement, different ways you need to adopt to give a solution. But basics always you have to know, and you need to practice those. So here we use the word practice. With the doctors, with the lawyers, even with software people also, we say practices. We have cases. Today one case may be working. Tomorrow same case you could try to adopt with some other thing that may not work. So you have to go in a different way. This is also nothing but practicing. Like advocates or attorneys, just like the doctors, we also practice here the software. Depending on the situation, you have to adopt different ways to give the to find a solution for that. So definitely it's practicing only. Learning cannot be, you can learn basics, but learning cannot be 100% learning it is. It's going to be only knowing things, and as you practice more and more, as you solve problems, you gain the experience, you get experience. With that in the future, when you face such problem, you can solve it. Like that it's going to be. Artificially you are going to build your intelligence in this. You build your intelligence by working on that. When you work with some kind of problem, you get the problems of it and you give a solution. That's going to be a learning process. Like that it can be. So here in the training sessions, what you do is you understand basically how to get connected to the database, how to put data, how to retrieve data. But that is all basics. Just merely how to use it. We are trying to say learning is basically working with the database. When you work with database, when you perform different types of operations on that, that is going to be learning. Learning comes only with the practicing and with working only. So real experience only can be called as real-time learning in my opinion. So when you look at the RDBMS, here it is basically a relational database management system. So in the database, we save data in the form of tables. They are called as basically relations. So whenever you look at the databases, we have logical databases, conceptual databases, and physical databases. Logical databases, conceptual, and physical. So in the case of the logical databases, we probably talk about the entities. I may say something like an entity here. So something like, for example, you take a university. For example, you take a university management system. When you talk about university, what are the logical conclusions you can make from that? If you take a university, probably in the university you have a student. you have their instructor. Okay, you have in that, you have a student, you have an instructor, you have a program in that, then similarly you have a course. Like this you are going to be having. So these are basically what entities. You manage these things only in the university database. Student can be an entity, instructor can be an entity, then program can be an entity, course can be an entity. Program can be something like BS, MS, we say, or MBA kind of thing. So in those programs, you have a course. Course may be some C language, C# language, RDBMS, like that you can be having courses. So these are taught by an instructor. Instructor is going to teach. So an instructor, when you take, what courses the instructor can teach will be in that. And when you take a student, what program the student has taken and what courses is attending, that you can keep. So like this you can be managing here a database, university, database management system. These can be called as your entities. Student, instructor, program and course, logically first of all you are going to say about it. So when you take student, what details of student you are going to manage, what details of instructor you are going to manage, and what details of program you are going to manage, and what details of course you are going to manage, that is going to be important. So student has here certain details. Those details we can call it as attributes. Now here student can be called as your entity. Entity has here certain attributes. When you take student, example, we take here student. In the case of student, these attributes you can have an ID, then say first name, then other thing is here what last name, then one more thing is going to be DOB, then this is program, PID I put here. Like this I can have here student information. I can have like this student information. This may not be sufficient there. Further, what course student has taken, that information also we should be putting there. So example I am saying here, when you look at student here, student can be identified based on the ID. You can identify based on the first name, last name, DOB and PID. When you take ID, no two students can have same ID. The ID should be changing there. Probably first name and last name, they may be same. And when you look at the DOB, that also can be same there. And when you look at PID, even that can be same. But as far as ID is concerned, this should be unique and should not be missing. Definitely you need to have a value for that. It should not be missing. So like that, normally, first of all, you come to some conceptual kind of conclusion. When you say conceptual, you talk about just entity. Student is an entity. The student has ID. Student has first name. Student has last name. Student has DOB, date of birth, and the student has PID. Like this conceptual, I am saying it. Overall idea I am giving there. But when you say physically how you are going to save, that is going to be important. When you say physically, that means you are going to save on the disk. You are going to save on the disk. When you save on the disk, how you are going to save? Like a data file you are going to save. In the data file again, you may create a relation called as student relation or student table. In that you need to save ID. How you are going to save ID? Is it a number, or is it a string, or is it datetime, or is it true or false value, or is it binary data? How you are going to save? So you need to specify their type of data. Type of data you need to say there. Even for the first name and last name also you must specify type of data, and here date of birth also you must be saying, and PID also you are going to save there. And when you save ID, you need to put certain constraints, like ID is a compulsory thing and ID should not be duplicated. Like that you can have certain constraints. So that is basically called as a primary key constraint, we say. Similarly, for example, take here DOB. DOB, date of birth. When you enroll a student, there should be some age limit for the student. Minimum some 18 years are required. If somebody is trying to enter a date which is less than 18 years, it should be rejected. That you can do with the help of the check constraint. So like this, you are going to impose certain constraints on the given data. They are going to maintain the integrity of the data. Data integrity you can maintain with the help of the constraints there. So you have clean and neat data when you apply the constraints. Without applying constraints, you cannot get actually accurate data, a consistent data you cannot have in the given table. So this is what conceptual, but when you say physically, definitely you need to put the table name there, followed by what type of data it is. You need to put there whatever constraints you want to apply, you can apply there. So like this, first of all you have logical, then conceptual, one more thing is going to be physically. How you are going to say physically on the disk, that comes under physical. and where exactly getting saved on the disk, that is not in our purview. So we don't know about that. RDBMS is going to manage. But internally, how you are saving data, we know about that. Table we say here, like table you are going to think, and like table only you are going to be retrieving. So whenever you save physically on the disk, how it is saving, like stream of bytes it's saving, or exactly how it is saving, we don't have an idea. It's the responsibility of the underlying DBMS and underlying operating system. It's not our responsibility, that is totally abstracted for us. But physically meaning here, what type of data it is, what's the name of table, what are the constraints you are applying, that comes into basically physical. So like this, we need to be visualizing logically, then conceptually, physically. Then with that you understand how you are going to make the table. First of all, if you take university management, university management system, you have entities like students, instructor, program, and course. This data you need to manage. You need to manage this particular type of data in that. And when you take student entity, what data related to student you are going to maintain there? An ID is required, a first name is required, a last name is required, DOB is required, PID is required. So what you do here, you create a schema or you create a structure first of all. So once you create schema and structure, you can start inputting data into that. For inputting data, you require some sort of procedures there. A procedure is nothing but some piece of code only again. So using those procedures, you can be inserting data into the given database tables. Similarly, to retrieve data also, you need to follow certain procedures. With the help of that, we can be retrieving data. Even you can update data. All these you are going to do with the help of the well-laid procedures. And to interact with this RDBMS, we use basically SQL, structured query language. With the help of structured query language, we can be interacting with the given databases, with the RDBMS particularly. So to work with the RDBMS, you need to know about the SQL. SQL stands for structured query language. With the help of that, you interact with the given database. To interact with the database and tables, you need to use their SQL. SQL stands for structured query language. So using structured query language, you can be interacting with the underlying database tables. So primary storage mechanism in the database is tables. In the tables only, you are going to save data. When you take any database management system, there are two components in that. One is what? The data store. Second thing is going to be the procedures you are going to use with the given data. So procedures are basically insertion of data, updation of data, deletion of data. Apart from that, creation of the structures there. Structure in the sense schema you define with the help of the DDL. You may alter the structure. That is with the help of the alter. So all those operations you are going to perform there. For that you need to have the procedures. So data is one important thing. Other is going to be the procedures. So using procedures, you can be working on the given data there. So this all come under RDBMS. And now the procedures are actually going to work only with the given RDBMS. Then how you can interact with the given application? Because databases, while developing, as a database developer, you can access database. But end user, how to access the database? End user may not be knowing much about the database, how to interact with that, and we don't expose endpoints to end user as far as database is concerned. End user has to access using some application. Either it is a Java application or C# application, it may be desktop application, or it may be say web application. Using those applications only, they should access the database. Database is basically behind the scenes, and in the background it's going to be running. You have a web form. In that web form, you enter some data. It must be saved in the database. So end user is going to interact with the web form. So web form should be interacting again with the database to move data into database or to retrieve data from database. So in such case, database is maintaining two things. One is what? Data. Second thing, it has procedures with help of that you can be accessing data. So using here the JDBC, we are going to perform those operations. From our application, we get connected to database. We save data, we retrieve data, we delete data. Similarly, what we do, we can even create tables. All such things we can do with the help of the JDBC here. JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. So with the help of that, we manipulate the data which is available in the database for us. Any questions on this? Firas?
No, sir, thank you.
Understood these concepts here?
So what is PID again?
Yes, Taral?
What is PID?
PID this is. Here you have a student ID, first name, last name, DOB and program ID that is. Prior to that you need to have a program table. You need to have a program table. In that program name, program ID. Something like say BS. BS is nothing but a program name. For that you need to have an ID. Similarly, MS you have. For MS you should have an ID. That some program ID is required. So here the student, what program he's enrolled into, what program you can have here with the help of the PID. So this is going to be linking with some another table. You have here relationships. You have relationships. One table is going to be depending on the other table. Like that normally we make it. So let us try to first of all make database for the university management system. For university management system, let us try to make a database in the Oracle. In the Oracle database, we make a database. So under one particular user, we make it. Then after that, through our application, we'll be getting connected to that. So let me make first of all Oracle database there. I go to
Excuse me, Professor, I have a question.
Yes, Stephen.
You mentioned actually that like MongoDB, Cassandra, and Cassandra, Amazon,
Yes.
and then there are like or Google MapReduce algorithm. I think also Hadoop. They are document based instead of actually a relational database. What do you mean? Sorry, you said it's a document based instead of record based, which is actually.
Yes.
So what do you mean?
In the case of this one, first of all, if you take the RDBMS, you are going to split data like tables in this.
I know RDBMS perfectly. So it's just, I just don't have any idea what's NoSQL like this stuff. I mean, I know just they use for big data, but I don't know.
Yes, Hadoop big data we use. Like see, what happens in this, you create a node, that node straight away you are going to put into document in this. Document basically means it is a file kind of thing. So you are going to put into file, one node you create. With the help of JSON, what to do here, you create a node object, I can say, that you are going to put into the document here. So instead of using any relations, there is no question of any relation in this. You cannot have any relations as far as the particular NoSQL is concerned here. You are going to manage just like a flat files only in this. So here, entire object you are going to put in that particular thing. You don't have any relations. With RDBMS you have relations. With primary key, foreign key, you manage relations. Here there is no such relation. If you take an object, all the related data you have to keep in that. This is basically document based. It's called as actually. So all the related data you are going to put into the same file here as far as NoSQL DBs are concerned. Here there is no question of one document relating with another document. If you take a particular file here, one particular document, all the relevant information you need to incorporate into that. That way you are going to manage as far as NoSQL DBs are concerned. But in the normal SQL RDBMS packages, you reduce here redundancy of data. That means what? Same data cannot be, getting generated, and same data may not be more than one place. Normally, not totally you can eliminate that. To some extent you can eliminate that. You can do with the RDBMS. But here what is happening? There is no relation like that here. Document means all concerned data you are going to put in one document only. Like that, this is called as here document based. This is called as basically document based, whereas that is called as relation based. You have relations, data you are going to put into relation, but all the concerned data you are going to put in one document only. This is here document based. There what is happening?
How do you reduce the data, reduce the amount of data? How actually, I understand actually, so we don't have any relation here, so we cannot reduce the data based on the relations.
No, MapReduce algorithm basically retrieval of data quite fast. For retrieving data we use this. It is not actually redundancy, avoiding redundancy. Data can be redundant in this. Here it's they are talking about actually retrieving data quite fast when compared with the RDBMS. In the RDBMS you use joins, use complex joins. With that what happens? It takes a lot of time because joining is going to be always complex. When you are retrieving data from more than one table, it has to retrieve data from different types of tables. Definitely it's going to be more and more time consuming. Here what happens? Data is becoming redundant. There is no, I mean, they never said that data is not going to be redundant here. Only the time which is required to retrieve data can be quite fast in the MapReduce algorithm. And there is no strong schema in this. We don't have any strong schema as far as NoSQL DBs is concerned. It's the responsibility of the programmer. No strong schema enforcement. Normal database you take, you have strong enforcement there. Schema enforcement you find in that. Here there is no strong schema enforcement here. All data you are putting in the same file only, but retrieval can be quite fast with the help of the Google MapReduce algorithm. They internally implemented it. Sometime we discuss on this. Later on we can discuss about this.
Okay.
How
Thank you very much.
MapReduce is
Thank you.
working. So let us just proceed with the Oracle first. Then we discuss tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Sometime we discuss on this MapReduce. Even how to get connected with the Java also I try to show this MongoDB how to get connected. But for that you need to know about JSON. You have idea on JSON, Stephen?
Yeah, pretty much not. I mean, it's not a. It's a kind of. I have worked before a bit with.
Okay.
It's pretty similar to. It's pretty similar to JavaScript.
It is not JavaScript, only object notation. How you create JavaScript objects. In the JavaScript, how you create objects, that is with the JSON.
But JSON is not a language.
It's not a language, it's a format.
It's a format,
It's
yeah.
notation. JavaScript object notation, it's not language, but it's a format that is understood by most of the applications.
Yeah, yeah, I know JSON. A little bit, not much.
So there you have key value pairs. You have a key, you have a value like that you say. Okay, so whenever we talk about this RDBMS, here exactly we create different types of tables, then you create relations among those tables. Now let us build here university management system. Yes, Taral?
JSON is basically an abbreviation.
It's abbreviation, but this is a format, or I can say notation.
So what does it stand for? The JavaScript object notation?
It's called as JavaScript object notation. With the help of that, you can be sharing JavaScript objects. Suppose you want to share some data. How do you share data? Suppose the user is trying to log in. User is trying to log in. When user has to log in, how user can be logging in? You need to pass user ID and you need to pass password. I show you an example.
Yes, yes.
I try to show you an
Yeah,
example.
but that we
How I am
can
using
do it
JSON.
using. Yeah, but that we can do it using HTML also, where we can put like an input type,
Yes.
and then you can say user type is username password,
Yes.
and then it will take you it will create a field where you can person can file username, and for the other one you can also put the values as asterisk, so when user is putting password no one can see it.
See, when you build systems, you have few limitations actually. With this, portability improves. It's always portability actually. With the help of JSON, you can improve the portability factor. For example, you take data type in the C#. The data type may not be known by all the languages, and all the environments may not be knowing about the data type. Similarly, you take Java. In the Java, you may be having one particular type of data. If you try to send that particular type of data to a heterogeneous application, definitely it may not follow. Understood?
No, sir.
Suppose you have Java application. If you interact with another Java application, probably you can share your data without any difficulty. Agree?
Yes, yes.
Suppose you have Java application. In this, you have a peculiar data type. This data you have to share with some other application. Other application does not know anything about this data type. Then in that case, how you can make it working? How you can exchange information from your application with another application?
So for that we use JSON.
Yes, you can use JSON. In such cases, you can be using JSON.
Okay.
So here, for example, why I am using JSON C. This is the default HTML. Here in this I use AngularJS. With the help of AngularJS, I can be getting connected to database. Just I am showing you how I am using AngularJS in this. I am making here data, first name or last name. I am trying to make here a JSON object. This is a key and this is a value. I can create a key, I can make a value. This value I am sending to the server. I am going to send it to server. It goes into SQL Server database and gets saved in that. Here I created one control or one object, JavaScript object I created, and with the help of this JavaScript object notation, I am sending data into a save data method. Save data method I have written somewhere in the C# code. It's nothing but web method, something like web service I am using. And with the help of this, I am saving data in the underlying database there. So like this, you can be using JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript object notation. I can create here data in the JSON format. I can be sending it to server. So like this, we can use JSON. Even if you run this application, it saves data.
But sir, this is a very complex way of writing things. You know, when I looked at W3 School's
Yes.
JavaScript, they were doing it in a much simpler way.
But see, they are for simple applications. For simple applications, that is all basics actually. So JavaScript basics they are covering for you there. But in the advanced part, definitely you have to use all these. When you have to share data with JavaScript, normally you cannot share any data. When you have to share data among the heterogeneous applications, JSON is going to be very, very useful for you. With the help of JSON, with the help of XML, you can do.
So we're going to learn JSON now, right?
It does not take much time. JSON is just notation, just format only. You have key and value pair that much. You need to learn JSON. That is also important. Now here I am using AngularJS. Even what is happening in this, you have here dependency injection. As soon as you type change data here, automatically getting changed in the bottom also it's changing. See here. So this is due to two-way data binding and dependency injection, inversion of control. These terms also we use. Tomorrow you are going to work with the Java Spring. In Java Spring also same thing happens there. This comes under basically dependency injection. With the help of AngularJS, I am achieving it. If I print here this one, gets saved in the database. It can go to database and it can be getting saved. This I am doing with the help of the web services here. Using web services, I am trying to do this here. So these all you need to implement. Tomorrow you have to send success message I am getting. It means getting saved in the database. So like this, I can use here JavaScript object notation. With the help of that you can do. JSON is the notation I am using. With the help of that I am posting data into server. So don't bother whether you understand.
What was this language,
sir? I'm just you here JSON object. This is nothing but JSON object. Key value, key this is, and this value. Key value format we have here. This is a key, this is a value, this is a key, and this is a value. Like this, we are going to create the JSON object.
What's this language, sir?
What, Firas?
What language is this?
It is sending data to server. From the form data, from HTML form, sending data to server. In the server, it's going to be getting saved. This is a HTML form. This is what exactly? It's a C# code. How you send data? HTML is not a coding, it's not any language here. You have some data here. When I click on the button, data is sent to the server. In the server, it's understanding it. So that I could make it, that I could make possible with the help of the JSON here. Using JavaScript object notation, I could make it.
Now this code, what language you call it, this code?
C# application, and this is what HTML page. This is going to
Oh,
be
so
HTML page.
this is not
HTML
required
page
for
like this.
not required for us, huh?
Not required, but same HTML can be same. In your Java application also you can use same code, but only in the server you need to change here. Here you need to change the method and you need to write in the Java language. The same page default.html, the user interface can be same, but here what happens? Whatever you call, this has to be just saved, change it. This you have to change. Appropriate Java method you need to call in such cases.
Okay. Wait.
Like this you can make. Just example I am showing.
Thank you.
See, things are quite complex. They cannot be so easy. Things have become very complex actually these days. Technology is simple only, but how you integrate, how you share data among the different systems, it can be homogeneous systems or heterogeneous systems. They are really very, very crucial, very important. JSON is playing very much good role these days. It's playing greater role in integrating the heterogeneous networks. Data you can share from one network to another network with the help of the JSON, JavaScript object notation. It's very, very lightweight when compared with the SOAP format. You have one more format called as SOAP, SOAP. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. Even with the help of that you can share, but that is going to be quite complex when compared with the JSON. So here with the help of JSON,
I'm sorry,
data
Professor.
is going to be lightweight.
What's the difference between JSON and JSP?
JSP Java server pages. It's a technology.
Yeah, I mean, we write all the Java code inside the HTML, right?
Yes, yes. No,
So
with
JSON is the
JSP,
same thing.
you can create with JSP a web page. You can create a web page. Normally, when you make a web page, you may use pure HTML tags, or you can embed JavaScript tags also in that. You can embed JavaScript tags. So JavaScript tags basically mean for rendering. You want to render some content on that, you can use JavaScript tags there. But see, you have to interact with the heterogeneous networks. As I said, with a different application, you have to interact. How you send data? When you are sending data, when you are receiving data, JSON is the format you are going to use. It's only for sending data. JSON is a data format, I can say. With the help of that, you are going to send data. Whereas JSP is what? Java server pages. This is a technology. With the help of that, you can render a web page in the browser. You create a web page using JSP tags. Then after that, you can be showing the web page in the browser. JSP internally has a servlet also. Servlet technology is built in the JSP. Servlet is basically server side.
JSP is just actually like, yeah, you're right. But I mean, to make a web page, but JSP usually use actually if we have an HTML website and then HTML or XML base,
Yes.
and then we want to interact, we want to download data from the website,
Yes,
or
yes.
we want to do some changes on the website,
Yes.
or for example, if we want actually to, I mean, all this stuff we do it with JSP, but
Yes,
we
yes.
can also but to retrieve data also from the website, we can do it also with JSON.
Yes, 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 yes. This is
So that's the same
dynamic
thing
pages.
to me.
JSP we use for dynamic pages. HTML we use for the static pages. Static pages means what exactly? As far as web is concerned,
I mean,
we
for
have input generations.
in the HTML web and the HTML coding, if we need actually to include some Java, we have to do. I mean, that's called JSP, right? I mean, it's just
Yes, Java codes you can embed within that. So that's basically JSP. So HTML.
But I am still confusing actually with JSON, because we can do it also the same thing with JSON.
No. JSON is different. JSP is different. JSON is only just format of data. When you want to share data, see in the case of JSP, what happens? You can interact with only with Java technology, correct? But suppose
Yes,
you
that's
to share data from your web page, you created a Java-based web page. From there, you are trying to send data to a different, application. It's useful in the case of B2B. See, these days we are working with SOA kind of thing. SOA stands for Service-Oriented Architecture. Okay, it's going to be Service-Oriented Architecture. Suppose you have a website that is made with the Java. In that website, you want to show some information related to currency conversion. Okay, currency conversion information you want to put in that. Right now, what is the conversion rate you want to find out? Something like US dollars to Australian dollars you want to translate. You want to get the conversion rate. Or it may be US dollars to, say, Qatar dollar, like that, or Kuwait dollar, you want to convert. How do you convert that? How you get the conversion rate? Conversion rate definitely you can't have in your application, because it changes from time to time, it changes. On hourly basis probably that may be changing. We don't know anything about that.
Every
It is
second.
changing
Every
on hourly
second.
basis, because financial institutions, they have that. So financial institution people, what they do, they make a web service, they make the service available for everyone. By paying little fee, we can be using that particular thing. So in such case, you can be getting connected to the currency conversion application. So that is going to be some web service, somewhere in the internet you have that. From your Java server page, you can be getting connected to currency conversion application there. So how you exchange data in such cases? You need to exchange data in the form of JSON only. You have a key, you have a value there. So what is key there? Currency from, currency to. With the help of that, you can be getting the required data. You can get required data with the help of that. I show you an example even for that, how we get it.
okay. I understood it.
Just I show you. I mean, it can become easy how it is going to work.
So, sir,
Yes.
we can make JavaScript in Notepad, and then if you want to transfer that into JSON format,
Yes.
can we still do that?
JavaScript is different, JSON is different. Again, I'm saying JavaScript is what basically it is only the coding part which you embed within the web page. JSON is only
Right.
data format. How you are exchanging data, that comes under JSON.
Mm.
Understood here?
Yeah.
JavaScript
But
is only coding. That means you write program using JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript can contain data like normal variables, or it can be like JSON. JSON is useful when you are exchanging information, when you want to send data from one application to another application. Here you look at this application, how this application is working. See in this, you look at this application. This is basically default.aspx. I have written. What I do in this, I enter the amount in dollars. Then when I click on the convert into Indian rupees, I can get the conversion rate. Even amount can be coming in the rupees here. So how I am exchanging information? See in this. Whenever I make something like this here, conversion rate, currency.usd, currency.inr, this is getting converted into JSON notation internally. It's getting converted to JSON notation internally, and that is getting actually sent to the server. Server understands in the JSON format. First one is what here, from currency, then to currency it takes. Based on that, it can be doing it. So when you want to exchange information, you can use the JSON format, because JSON is understood by different applications. Suppose you know your language, probably I think you speak Gujarati. What's your language, Taral?
yeah, Gujarati, sir.
Okay, you speak something in Gujarati. I am a Telugu person. Okay, suppose you're saying something to me. In such case, what is the common language? Both you and I can understand. Either it is Hindi or it is English. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So when you send your information in the English format or in the Hindi format, probably I understand. Same thing in this case. Your application generated some data. That data you have to share with some other application. Okay. Other application, whatever data you created here may not be understood, because your application using some data types like integer, float, it may be using. At the other end also, the application may not be in a position to accept your data straight away. It can't understand your INT. It can't understand your, say, string. So in such case, what happens? You need to convert into some JSON format. Then you need to exchange the data with the other application. So JSON is one such format I am saying. Understood?
Yeah, are we going to learn JSON right now, sir?
Not right now. Later on we do it. So discussion is
Okay,
coming here. That's why, because when you work with the NoSQL DBs, you are going to depend on JSON.
Professor, I just have a question. Like this, I see the JSP, like, but where did you actually just put it in the HTML? Like, in which plot? Because here I see just a function, a method. Sorry, a class. So, but it should be actually embedded in HTML, right?
JSON. Sorry, JSON or JSP? Which one you are saying?
JSP.
See, you are going to create JSP page. Within the JSP page, you are going to embed HTML tags.
Yes. Yes.
Normally it is
That's right.
HTML starting tag, HTML closing tag. In that you have header, then you have body. In the body, you can be having, as far as JSP is concerned, you can have different types of directives. 5 different directives are available. We'll discuss later on about it, please. Because we continue with the Oracle first, JDBC, then after that we can jump into that. Here I'm just trying to show you how you can use a web service. I'm using here web service. With the help of that, I can get here the information related to the currency conversion. So here it is. I enter some $500. When I click on this, automatically it converts into Indian rupees here. See, 63.9865. So you get amount in Indian rupees. See, this conversion rate can change on hourly basis. From time to time, it can change. Yesterday when I saw, it was 63.8, but now it is 63.98. It's changing like this. So conversion information we cannot have with us. They are available only with the financial institutions. So therefore, whenever you require, you can get connected to that. That is a different application. Your application is a different application. Then how do you exchange data? With the help of JSON, you can be exchanging that information. Similarly, one more application I show you here. That is going to be view in browser. I have countries like this. I can take a country like Canada. Then when I take here, it's going to show all the cities in Canada, all the airports it can give us. Like this you are getting. You can get information like this. If I click on Key Lake, probably it may not show anything. We need to complete that properly. It may not show anything, but like this, it can be retrieving the weather information. Some problem with that, so due to that, it could not do there. So that's fine. So here, the application, when you select here different country, you are going to get the airports available in that. It can show you all the airports available in the Libya there. So all this is happening with the help of the web services. So in such cases, you can be using the JSON. With the help of JSON, you can be getting connected. That's what I was trying to say. Now coming to the SQL command line here, using SQL command line, I just get connected to Oracle database. So just follow this. You can create your database also. First of all, I need to connect to Oracle database. When I have to connect to Oracle database, I give here connect command, followed by, I should specify here the username and password. Here I want to create a new user, therefore I write this as sysdba. I enter like this, and here I need to enter password, press enter key. Now I am getting connected as a system DBA. Now here I can create a required user. Create user, followed by I give a username here. So user, like this I put here, user, this is user 1, followed by user 18 I put here, 2015, like this I can put. User 18205 is going to be username, identified by some password. Identified by password here, A12345. This is a common password we can keep. Normally this is created by DBA. Database administrator does this. Press enter key, a user got created now. So once user created, without permissions, without privileges, user can't do anything. So therefore we need to here grant few privileges. Here write grant all privileges to here write it user 18 then 2015 like this. I am keeping like this here. All the privileges are granted to this user now. Now grant succeeded. I can log in like this user. Once I log in like this user, I can create the database. Now here I just once again get connected. Right here connect, followed by I can give the username. User is user 182, this is 015 is a username, and password is here A12345, like this I enter password. Now user can be getting logged in. What are the tables available for user? You can get like this. Select star from tab, I create. No rows are selected. There are no tables. User created tables you can't find in this. Select star from tab when you say if any user defined tables are available, they can be shown. There is no user defined table in this now. Select star from tab when I say no rows are selected, and this is what exactly SQL I am using here. Structured query language I am using. Select star from tab, with the help of that I can get connected. And to work with Oracle, you can use the Toad, T-O-A-D. Toad for Oracle you need to download. Okay, Toad for Oracle you need to download. You can do data modeling with the help of this. You can model the database with the help of the TOAD. So TOAD is going to be a designer here. Even you can work with the schema definition. So testing also you can do with the help of the Toad, but basically Toad we use for modeling the database. So Toad for Oracle you need to download and work with that. So you get some idea of the Toad there, TOAD, because data modeling is important. I mean, employers they are asking about the Toad, and one more thing is going to be Erwin. Erwin also they ask you. So Erwin as well as Toad both you need to know. So download Toad for Oracle. Erwin also possible, try to download it.
So sorry, how's it written, Toad?
Yes, Stephen.
How's it written, Toad?
TOAD.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
yeah. What's that?
Yes, you can
What's
download
that?
free. I think this is open source kind of thing. Toad for Oracle. You can download it. you can interact with the database with the help of the Toad. You can even model the database. While modeling for drawing ER diagrams, you can use it. Entity relationship diagrams you can draw. Before you make database, if you can draw ER diagrams, that would be fine in fact. If you first make a ER diagram, then if you share with the development team how you are going to model database, then if any drawbacks are in that, that means if you miss few points, they can be telling you, then you can finalize. Normally, this is the practice people follow in the industry. So in the first of all, they make a model, they try to present to all the stakeholders. So development stakeholders we take, and so when they approve it, even the architect may be chief architect, still he takes everyone's consent on that. So the person is going to take everyone's consent. Once everyone is consenting that, once everyone understands that, they go ahead with the real-time development. So you can make first of all model. With the help of model, you understand how exactly you are going to make how you are going to structure database. So once everyone approves, you can go with the physical coding. So modeling is going to be always important, whether it is a real building construction or whether it is a machine construction or it is a software making also. If you can model first, if you can visualize, and if you show others how that is going to be, then definitely it's appreciated and everyone understands. So therefore, modeling is going to be very, very important. Therefore, model your database with the help of the Toad.
Sir.
Yes, Stephen?
Sir?
Yes, Firas?
No, خلاص I'm خلاص.
Fine. Now here,
Now if I download Toad
yes,
modular, I can create tables here.
you can create tables, you can model database, you can draw entity relationship diagrams, all those you can do.
Can you show us the Toad? Have you Toad modular?
I don't have Toad actually. I mean, you can practice on that. You can get a lot of information with using web. You can do that. That's simple only, not much in that Firas. If you can share your computer, I can show.
I mean now,
in my system, I don't have Toad.
No, I mean now, I work on SQL Oracle now.
Yes.
SQL
SQL Server and Oracle.
I create tables and make relations. So yeah. So instead of this, I work on Toad modular. You said?
No. Toad is a tool. You are going to work with the Oracle or SQL Server. Toad is a data modeler. With the help of Toad, you can be getting connected to these instances. To Oracle instance or SQL Server instance, you can get connected. I mean to say that. Toad is not any commercial database. It's only modeler.
Oh, okay.
It's only modeler. It's going to help you. Toad for Oracle, with the help of that, you can get connected to Oracle database. Existing instance, you can get connected. Right now, I am working with this Oracle instance. The instance name is XE here. XE is called as here Express Edition. This is the instance I have. So on that instance, I am working. With the help of the modeler, Toad modeler, you can get connected to this modeler, this particular Oracle instance, and you can retrieve the metadata related to this instance. What tables are available in that? What are the what are the columns in the given table? It can identify automatically. Toad is one such tool. From the tables, you can automatically draw the ER diagrams, entity relationship diagrams. You can automatically draw with the help of the Toad. Understood my point?
Okay.
Now here see, SQL prompt I got. Now I have logged in like a user called as user 182015. This is what exactly the user ID. With that I have logged in. Now I need to build the university management system here. So what are the tables? I was saying you, we have these tables first of all. These may not be sufficient, but here at least few tables. First I said here, student, instructor, program and course. And this database development basically is incremental. In a day only you may not finish. First of all, you try to make some database. Then you may find some shortcomings in that. Then further you try to extend. You may even modify the existing structure. So therefore, first of all, we require here DDL, data definition language. With the help of that, we can define the schemas. These are the languages we use. One is DDL, DML, DCL, then TCL. One more thing is what here you have here DQL. In the DDL, you use these commands. Like first of all, create command we use. Then similarly, alter command we use. One more thing is going to be drop command. These are the three commands used with the DDL. And when it's DML, it's going to be insert, then it's going to be update. Then other thing is what here? Delete we use. These are only meant for the data. With the help of delete command, you cannot drop the structure of the database table. So structure is going to be intact, table is going to be intact, only you can deal with the data inside the table. That is DML, data manipulation language. And with the DCL here, you can grant, you can revoke, grant, revoke. So like this, you can be using permissions here. This is basically DCL. You can, grant privileges, you can revoke privileges with the help of the DCL. And in the case of TCL, it's going to be commit, it's going to be rollback, it is going to be save point. Like this we can be using. So these are TCL, transaction control language, we use them there. Then in the DQL, it's going to be select statement. You may select data from one table, or it may be from more than one table. You may be using in this joins. We use a concept called a joins actually. It can be equi-join, or it can be outer joins, inner join and outer join concepts we have there. So the joins you may be adopting in that, or you may be using nested queries. One query you can use in the other query. All you can do with the help of the DQL. It's called as data query language. Okay.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Could you please actually say what they stand for? All of them.
Yes. In the case of DDL, here now I give a command like this.
No, what they stand for. Just what they stand for.
Okay. So create database is basically create you have here. With the help of this, I can create a table. I can give create table followed by the program I take there. DBL program, then followed by program ID, column name, then program name. I can put column name. I can create like that. That is basically a DDL command. Okay. Later on, suppose I missed something in the table definition. Therefore, what I do, I can use alter table followed by program there. I can add a new column, or I can drop the existing column from that. So that way you can be altering it. See, when I created first, that's why I show you practically how you can use create, how you can use alter, and how you can use drop. Let me type here. So like this, I put here create followed by table. I put here a program. Make like this. Then I can put the columns inside this. First of all, I put here PID. It's nothing but program ID. I make this as int, integer. I want to take in this. Integer is one of the data types. Integer is one of the data types. You can have numeric types. Then second thing is character types. One more thing is going to be date type. The Boolean type we have. So one other thing is going to be binary type of data. You can have 5 different types of data in this. Integer is one such type. Integer data we have in this. PID, int. Then followed by here program name. I write here. I can just put p name here. Program name followed by varchar2 up to I can keep here some 400 characters, or 100 characters will be sufficient. 100 I can put here. Like this, I created here a table. When I create table, now I can put like this. This is what creation of table, a DDL command. It contains in this 2 columns, PID, pname. Later on, what I understood, I am missing something in this.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes, Taral?
Sir, what is the, why do we need to use 2? Because I also saw in like that Oracle database when I was seeing all the tables and all, they also use variable VAR, and then they write 2. But what is the importance of 2?
Varchar2, they have their own type of data. It's basically varchar only. Varchar2, they made some type of data varchar2. It's equal to varchar only. It's in fact equal to varchar.
So if I do it,
please, because let us finish this. So these points, even email in detail, I can write those things, please.
Yeah, sure. So
difference is what between varchar and varchar2. Why they use varchar2? We can do. Just email me on that. I'll be responding. So for everyone, I share whatever email you sent. So whenever I'm clarifying, I share with everyone, or the others also can understand from that if they have any doubts. Siraj, you are saying something?
Yeah, sir, please. I have a question, please.
Yes.
I read a database in Oracle. Now we are working the same place.
Yes.
So whatever you wrote there is a command. Why you make DDL, DML, DCL? Where did you get this from? I never heard about them. Just if you can remove this run SQL command line, so I can show you.
See,
You can
here,
remove this one.
I'm coming into this.
Now create, alter, drop, insert, update, delete, grant, remove, revoke. These all are commands in Oracle database. Why you are making DDL, DML, DCL? I never heard about these types of categories. I don't know what to call
This
it.
is nothing but categorization. It is categorization of commands. You are categorizing commands.
Why you are creating these categories?
Categories are required. See, when you talk about SQL, what you can do with SQL? Exactly, it's a structured query language.
I can do all
Find
these
data.
commands here.
Whenever you take any,
Create order.
see, whenever you take any database, when you look into its life cycle, very first thing is what? Creating databases, then manipulating data, and similarly here what you do? You can take a user or users, you can be granting users permissions and you can be revoking permissions. And whenever you try to perform any, whenever you're trying to insert some data, at one time you may be inserting data into more than one table. In such case, it's nothing but transactions. And once you insert data that may not be enough there, you need to retrieve. So like this, you are going to categorize what are the different types of commands you have in that. What are the different types of commands you can have? DDL is one such thing. Data definition language commands, data manipulation language commands, data control language commands, transaction control language command, DQL, data query language commands. We need to categorize like this. Then only you understand what are the different things available in the SQL. In the SQL, you have DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, DQL. With DDL, you can talk about only defining or altering or dropping the structures. You have different types of structures here, different database objects. It may be table, it may be procedure, it may be trigger, or it may be view. So like that you have there. So when you want to create them, you can use create command. If you want to modify them, you can use alter command. If you want to totally remove them, you can use drop command. They are nothing but DDL, data definition language. Okay. Similarly, you want to deal with the data. In such case, what? You can insert new set of data, or you can update existing data, or you can delete data. That is basically called as DML operations. You may be having users. Sometimes what happens, to few users you grant permissions and few users may be getting revoked permissions. So like that you can be using DCL. In the same way, DQL, if you take data query language, definitely you need to categorize all these things. Then only you can understand what is exactly SQL. Otherwise you may ask tomorrow, what is the difference between alter and update? Understood? If you ask what is the difference between alter and update, alter is going to be altering the structure of the database or database tables here, whereas update is going to modify only data. Data is available in the table that you are going to update with the help of update command. So like this you are going to do. In the case of DBase 3 Plus also, you create, how do you create a table in the DBase 3 Plus? Could you recall that, Firas?
Yeah, create database and
Yes.
give the name,
So that's
then
what
the
exactly
records.
creating database table there, creating database file there. Suppose you want to
Yeah.
modify data in that, what you do? You go to the concerned row, you change data there, correct?
That's right.
And you
The
give list
record
command.
and
When you
the-
give list command, what happens? Data comes. So list is nothing but here select. Definitely like this,
No,
you need to categorize SQL commands.
What I meant that these categories are make it more complex, you know.
No, it's why complex, it's simple only. You are dividing into data definition language commands, data manipulation language commands, data control language commands, transaction control language commands, data query language commands we are categorizing. Why we make like this is, you have different types of users. All the users may not be accessing all these commands, remember. So few users can create only the structures. Few users only can insert data, can update data, can delete data. And few users can use grant and revoke. Admin users only can use grant and revoke. So these are related to users also. Few users can be having permission to create the structures, and few users can just use them like insertion, updation, deletion. And few users may be having read-only permissions. They can only select data. So like this, different users can be using different types of commands in the given database.
Oh
Understood?
yeah, depends. Yeah, depends on permission.
That's what
That's
I'm saying.
why.
So,
Yeah,
that's what we are categorizing here. DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. There is no confusion in that.
Okay.
Very simple only. DD,
I got you. I got you. I got you.
creating, altering and dropping the database structures. Inside that, whatever
Understood.
tables are there, whatever views are there, whatever procedures are there, whatever triggers are there, you can do like that. With the help of
Exactly.
DML,
Exactly.
you can insert data, you can update data, you can delete data. So it's only related to data manipulation, DML. Similarly, when you talk about DQL, you can be selecting data. Okay, so as an application developer, you may not be doing all these things. You are a Java developer, you are developing Java applications, you may not do all these things. But at times, even you have to do these things also. Whenever it depends on your job. I mean, in the job, if they are asking you to create database, you need to create that. You need to know about the database commands also. At the same time, if they are asking you to just interact with the database with the help of the JDBC, you can be getting connected. So you should be playing many roles. As I told you, if you say that you know only Java coding, your services may not be in great demand because companies are looking for full stack these days. You must be database developer. You must be if required, you have to work with the applications also. You have to work with web portal. All the things you need to be playing. Even sometimes you can be analyst. You can be analyst actually. So you need to analyze the data. You need to analyze the application. You need to analyze the user requirements. Based on that also you should be doing. Need not be one role. You have to play multiple roles. Then only you can be surviving these days. Because companies are expecting for multiple skill sets in you. You have to be good with so many skill sets. Full stack of applications you have to know. If you take web application, there you have database interactivity, web page development. You can be accessing web services. You need to use something like MVC. In all these things, if you are proficient, then your service are going to be demand. They are looking for full stack, complete stack of applications you have to know. You have to know, you need to be proficient with all those things. You can work, you can have working knowledge, then your service are in demand. Understood, Firas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So like this is going to be. Now let us come into this SQL prompt here. I created one table. This is what exactly a DDL command create table I have used. PID int, pname varchar 200. I made like this. Now here, what are the shortcomings in this? First of all, there is no primary key in this. PID can be getting duplicated. Is it possible here, Taral?
Yes, sir.
When I create a table here, I just gave PID int, pname varchar 200. I gave like this. There is a possibility of duplicating data in this now. Can we duplicate data in this?
Yes, sir.
So how to overcome that? In such case, you need to
What's PID?
add a constraint. You need to put a primary key constraint on the PID. How I alter C table now? Alter table followed by, give the table name here. Table name is going to be, this is exactly program. Press enter key. Then what you do in this, you can add a constraint. This is going to be add constraint. Need to put the constraint name. This is pk underscore PID we put. Then constraint name is what? Primary key. Followed by in the brackets, you need to put the column name. PID, you need to put like this. Put semicolon like this, press enter key. What it says here? Sorry.
PID, sir.
Yes.
PID.
PIS has come, everything is correct, but that is the mistake. Alter table, followed by here.
Yeah, just a
Program
field name, yeah.
Then this is add constraint, followed by this is pk underscore PID. This is the name of the constraint. Pk underscore PID is name of the constraint. Pk stands for your primary key. PID is going to be the column name. This is created by me and this is identifier here. Put primary key and inside this try to put PID column name. One of the columns it must be. Now table can be altered here. What happened here? Table has been altered. Now if you go with the DESC followed by here it is program, you can have here the structure of the table. PID up to 38 digits is going to take. Then P name is what exactly? Varchar 200. So up to 38 bytes of data we can enter into that because we have taken as integer, automatically it's taken as number there. So P name is what here? Varchar 2, we have like this here. Now 100 is available. Now suppose I want to add here one more column. I would like to add one more column into this. Therefore I write here alter table followed by again put program there.
Sir, alter spelling is wrong.
Okay, I can put ALTER then. Yes, alter table program in this. Then here, okay, spelling is wrong again. Alter table followed by here it is program. I put like this. Press enter key. Then here I can add a new column. What column I would like to have here is on what date exactly the program created. I would like to find out. So right here add followed by date of creation DOC I put followed by date I give like this. A new column I am trying to make in this. I am trying to make a new column in this, and this column, I mean this should not be, the date for this should not be taken here less than, it should not be less than here current year. It should not take the date of creation for this should not be less than today's date and time. So therefore I try to put like this. It should be like this. I put DOC greater than or equal to current time stamp. I can put like this, current time stamp. Like this I can apply a check constraint on this. Okay. Current time stamp. Okay, fine. Put like this, followed by, let us first of all add here, add DOC, then put this date. What happened here? Now one more column we added, DOC is added. If you once again describe program, you can get here. It's having totally PID, PName and DOC, date it is. Now suppose you don't want to use DOC there. You want to remove that, therefore you can write here like this. Alter table followed by here program. Then what you do in this, drop followed by column name you can put, drop column, then specify column name as DOC. Now column name has been dropped. If you look at DESC, then right here program, it can show you. Like this it is. So these are nothing but here DDL commands we used it. Data definition language command we use, with the help of that we could do in this way. Okay. So like this, first of all you need to work with the database. You need to create some model, some structure. Then after that you should be getting connected with the JDBC, Java database connectivity. With the help of that you can work with the database. So first of all database is required, few sample data is required. So once you have few sample data, you can be working. So what I do, I make some script today. That script I am going to share with you. So you can run those scripts at your end. Automatically tables can be created for you with that. Data also can be inserted. You need to just run the scripts. Okay, so with that database tables can be created. Similarly, data also can be inserted into your tables. Then after that you can get connected with the JDBC. Similarly, you need to practice even with Oracle. You need to practice with Oracle also, because ours is purely Java based. If you practice, it will be good. But here we cannot spare much time with all these things. Reason, Oracle takes a lot of time to understand, to create tables, to interact with the database. And after some 10-15 days, you may ask how many days still we take for Java, you ask. So therefore, we have to go with the Java. At the same time, parallel, you have to work with the database also. So therefore, you need to practice. I can be sending you step-by-step instructions to work with database. You parallelly work on that. Meanwhile, I try to create few videos also. But for creating videos, somebody is required. Because if somebody is attending, I can create video, I can put it. Otherwise, myself cannot create video. Reason, GoToMeeting requires somebody watching this. In such case, I can create with the help of the GoToMeeting. Okay, so you need to work with the Oracle database. I send you few notes on this. With the help of those notes, try to create database. But here I require a well-defined table, set of tables, like I told, program, then student, then other thing is what here, instructor, then courses. So instructor courses, student courses, like that is required. So you need to make those tables and you need to put sample data. that data you must be retrieving from JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So still, since time, the marketing people also, they are actually in a hurry to, market your resume. So therefore, you have to rush little bit now. You have to do little fast things. So JDBC, you need to develop Java database connectivity. You have to use, and you need to develop database. Once you develop database, you can be interacting with that. At least database structures are required. Tables are required. Once you have tables, you can interact with that.
Professor?
Yes, please.
Why didn't you use the Oracle SQL Developer IDE?
No, I'm not getting.
Why did you not use the Oracle SQL Developer IDE? The integrated development environment.
You can use IDE, interactive development environment you can use. There's a separate tool again you need to install. So it is going to be memory hungry activity. In my computer already things are overloaded. And one more thing, when you use this SQL prompt, you understand commands how they are working. Whenever you use IDE, you don't understand how commands are working, how to write commands, you can't understand that. Graphically, probably you do it. You can drag and drop required things. Automatically, they can be created. But when you use this command prompt, you understand how to write commands. Because in the Java code tomorrow, sometimes you need to invoke commands like this only. In the command prompt, how we are invoking commands, in the same manner, you need to write. Therefore,
You still
you practice with
commands on the SQL Developer.
Now, whenever you are a full-fledged developer, then definitely you can use the IDE, Interactive Development Environment. You have Oracle SQL Developer. With the help of that, you can get connected. Even with Toad also you can do. I was saying about Toad. With the help of Toad also, you can be doing same thing. With Toad also, you can develop the tables with the help of the GUI. But when you use the IDE, what happens? You cannot learn these commands. You cannot get good practice over these commands. But once you understand all these commands, you can use IDEs. IDEs basically improve our productivity. While working in the real-time environment, they give you the required productivity. But while learning, what I say, if you follow the SQL prompt, that would be better. You understand how commands are working. Where they can give you some trouble, you understand with this. So whenever you are a full-fledged developer, definitely you have to use IDE, because with that very quickly you can develop.
I thought the IDE uses the exact same commands though, so I don't see what you lose by using it.
I did not use, mostly I don't use IDEs much actually, but in the case of SQL Server also, SQL Server I use IDE, but Oracle based IDEs I did not use much.
You know, sir, I have a note here, please, for Adam. You can't find IDE on all computers, but you can find SQL command on all computers. So you should learn SQL command. Like now, when I work on Java now, many times I use Notepad and I make compilation from DOS command, because not every computer has Eclipse. You know what he's saying. The teacher is saying this. They're saying IDL is no problem. Okay, very good. But don't use to know it only, because you can't find it anywhere. Like Eclipse, when you go making a Java program, you said, oh, there's no Eclipse. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any commands in the SQL command prompt that aren't in the SQL IDE development kit.
I don't know. I never seen an IDL really. I never see
it. What Adam is saying very much correct. There are many IDEs. SQL developer IDs are available for the Oracle. Toad is also one such developer only, developer tool. Toad you can use like that. That's why I'm saying you to download Toad also. And in the case of SQL Server, you use SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. It's going to be one such tool. I launch and show you how this SSMS is going to be.
How can we download IDE, sir?
You need to download. I'll tell you.
IDE. I want IDE. What Adam just said. IDE.
I tell you. I send you links. But all this is going to be
when you download a SQL or PL SQL, the IDE comes with it.
Yes.
Oh, the same. Oh, okay, the same site.
Yes,
the IDE comes with it. But what Adam says is completely true. But the only thing but about the access management and actually to give grants and actually permission to users and this stuff in IDE is much easier. Actually.
Yeah, for sure.
But in terms of actually, in terms of creating tables, in terms of creating tables and look at the tables and the data, ID is much easier.
Yes, yes.
than
Like
Of course,
this.
yeah, of course. All these applications are very easier, much easier. Of course.
But code writing is the same. Code writing doesn't make it. It's just better visualization. But code writing is the same.
No, no. See, for example, you take person DB in this. I have a person DB. I can create some table like this. New table I can make from this. Expand here tables. You can go to this. You can write the tables. It's a table. What I do.
So here you don't know the real command.
That's what I'm saying. If you get habituated to IDE,
No,
you don't know how to write
see,
the command. Now what happens here? Column name I can give simply. This is what certification ID.
Not like alter, nor like create, nor like, yeah.
See, in this
Yeah,
case,
no,
what
you-
happens? You can put some INT like this. Integer you can put. Or something like INT.
Yeah, I
ID.
know what
Try to
you're
put
saying,
INT
yeah.
here, integer type of data. Then followed by, this is what description. I put something like this.
Yeah, I know exactly, yeah.
So
I
this is
understand.
varchar. But what is the command? You can't understand from this. How
You don't know, you don't
exactly you can't understand. But if you practice from the SQL command,
But in
of course,
SQL
you have
or
the
in
required productivity.
SQL or MySQL, you don't have this. You have to write
Yes,
it.
that's what different IDs are available. Different IDs are available.
Yeah, man.
So downloading all those IDs and keeping with your system can be again much memory consuming. If you launch all those things, enough RAM is also required. Then only your application can run fast. You have certain side effects with them, but definitely, I mean, no doubt, they improve your productivity very much. But when we talk about productivities, when you are developing some application, when you know all these things, in such case, we can talk about productivity. Definitely, as a developer, you can use, but as a learner, normally I say if
Yes,
you
sir.
use command prompt, that would be better because you can learn more and more. That's what I say.
So what are the commands that you can use at the command line prompt that you can't use in the IDE? I thought all the commands were
What you can use in IDE, you can use here. Adam, what you say is correct. What you can use in the IDE, same thing you can use. Here in such case, again you need to go to command prompt like
It's
this.
the same code. It's the exact same code.
Yes, same thing.
You have drop in IDE,
Yeah.
Yes.
you have
It's the
delete.
exact same code, so you don't lose anything by using the command prompt or gain
Yes,
anything, I mean.
But see, this extra tool, what I'm going to say, some another tool you need to download, you need to launch it. Whenever you are launching like this, more and more memory is required. You require more RAM. That's what I say. Suppose I am working with Eclipse now. In the case of Eclipse, I need to launch this GUI application. I need to launch another GUI application. So both of them require memory or not.
Of course, yeah.
So what happens with that? One application can be running slow. Ultimately, I feel that the application is running slow. So to avoid that one, what I say, you can use, command prompt. This command prompt does not use that much RAM. So the application can be running smooth if it's command prompt. No doubt regarding IDs, they're really very much useful. That's fine. Whatever you can invoke here, you can do from IDs also. But my concern is only, suppose I'm running here my application. I'm using Eclipse. It requires more memory. A lot of memory is required for Eclipse. At the same time, if I launch one more GUI, what happens? It takes more memory. Ultimately, the Eclipse can be running slow or my SQL interface may be running slow. Because of that, I have chosen here SQL prompt. You can use, you can download the code or you can download SQL for Oracle. With that, you can develop. So whatever you can whatever you can do at the command prompt, you can do here also. It's in fact much useful, but my concern is only I need to load two applications. So memory is required. That's my main concern, in fact. And other thing is, if you do from command prompt, you understand difficulties here. When you type command, what are the problems you face here, and while doing like this, you can understand commands clearly. That's my intention. So I never used for Oracle this kind of IDEs, integrated development environments. I did not use, but I use for SQL Server very much these only, because there is no other way for the SQL Server. But for Oracle, I did not use anything like that. Even for MySQL also, I did not use anything. That's why I say, that's up to you. If you want to use, you can use whatever commands you are typing at the SQL prompt. You can type same thing also here.
Yeah, I will try it. I will try it.
Yes. But you need to download, you need to configure, more memory is required. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it comes with Oracle, I think. When you download the database, it comes with the developer, the IDE.
No, it does not come
Yeah.
because see, recently we installed XE Express Edition, Oracle Express Edition. It's not available. So it's not available. We need to download separately that one.
I'll search
Well, it
for it.
came with mine.
So same from my link you downloaded that.
Yeah, it came in the same file. I just installed
Fine.
the.
Then I think you got some web interface, some web form, something like that. You got local host. Are you getting that?
No.
Can you show your screen? I'm making you presenter. Can you show it, please?
Okay, I haven't used it. I can.
Just show, please.
Okay. I think it's somewhere in. Maybe in here.
Okay, this is SQL developer.
I don't know. I don't know where exactly it is, but it's on here somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Command prompt. Go to all programs here. From all programs, try to see. SQLJ you have. Okay. You have installed it or not?
Yeah, I installed it.
Then it should be available with program files then. No, you did not search like that. Go to program files. Is it Windows 8 or Windows 7? Which OS you are using?
Windows 7.
Okay, it's a Windows 7. Click on all programs here. No, not that. No, click on all programs in the bottom you have. Dismiss this window once. Okay, click on that. Now here, one by one you scroll down. Okay.
Oh, this one.
Yes. Okay, you are using
Oh,
Windows
this is
3.
what this is what I'm talking about. Right? You can start this.
Get started. You can go with the get started. That's what I'm saying. GUI like this you get. You are starting database. Now come to again the prompt. This is fine.
Okay, but I thought there was an IDE that came with this
Yes,
thing.
it is available. Once again come to, yes, 1 minute. In this, get started. Yes,
Let's start. I have this one.
that's
I
right.
installed this one. But I couldn't work on it. I don't know how to work on it.
Because I used the Oracle for my databases class the other semester, and I just downloaded the database and Oracle IDE all in one thing, and everything worked very smoothly.
I installed it also, so I couldn't use it.
But see, it's taking some time. What's happening? See there. So instead of this, what I feel you can get connected to say straight away SQL prompt. Will do. In this, okay.
Same thing.
Application Express sessions. You need to log in from this. How this is working, you have to see sessions.
I couldn't. Yeah.
System. Okay.
What's the system? How do you get this?
System is the predefined. Login.
What's the password?
What password you are using? System only, I think.
Oh, same system.
Adam, what password you are using for system?
I had a password set. I'm not going to say it though.
Oh, it's your own password.
Yes,
Yeah.
for system also you have some. Otherwise, whatever user ID you have with that, you can log in. No issue with that.
The same SQL password.
Yeah, you can use HR and HR. That should work.
Yes. HR you can use.
What?
HR and HR.
HR and HR?
Yes.
Yeah, HR for username and HR for password.
Yes.
HR, you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No, not Application Express. No, Application Express don't launch. Database only you need to launch.
Where does it say? Launch.
See, click on the Oracle Express Edition in the left side. Right side, see. Right side you have Oracle Express Edition. Oh, this
Yeah.
is. Login here. Click on the login. In the left side, already have an account.
Getting started.
Login here in the right side. Click on that. Login here. Yes, see here only. No. Click on that link. Click on that link.
On the blink.
Yes.
Yeah.
On that button you click.
On the login.
Yes, now give the password. But this is giving you Application Express. It's not database. SQL Workshop. Click on the SQL Workshop. SQL Workshop. Yes.
I can go back.
Also,
Okay, you don't have any SQL Workshop. Click on that. Fine. Now you can give commands here. Something
Yeah, so I
create
can
table.
like
Yes. Table name you need to give first. Without table name you can't do anything. Give a table name. No, table name is required. Yes. Program, just now we gave program.
Same
Theme,
columns
whatever it is. Yes, some columns you put. Varchar 2. No. Type of data is important.
You have to put.
Varchar 2. Specify some size in that. Yes. Like this. No. No space between var and char. It's continuous.
oh,
No space.
so it's just jumping around on me.
Yes.
My cursor.
Yes. Sample you can just select and you can run. Just run it. Table created message already. Yes. Now you can describe the table. Just give the describe command.
Where's that?
DES.
In the bottom, you have
DES.
describe. Click on the describe. You have a link in the bottom. Describe.
On the link.
You have
Okay.
the bottom. See results. Explain. Describe. Yes. Click on the describe.
Describe is
To the
on the
right.
right.
Yes. Okay. Object name is required. So right there. Describe. Right. Describe. Table name. People. Type on. No. Not like that. You type there DSC. In the window, DSC, type people. DSC
No.
first command you need to give. DSC you put, then put people.
Where?
Now before people,
Okay.
you need to put DSC. DSC before that, DSC people. DSC, not
DES.
DSC. DSC describe.
Scribe.
No.
No.
This is DSC followed by people. Yes.
Describe people. Yeah.
Select and execute
Structure
this.
for-
Just select this line and run. Only run this. No.
Yeah.
Only select this one. DSC people you have. Select only this single line. This line you select.
But
No,
a
not the first
professor.
one. Only table is available. Select only this.
A professor, DESC is not working here. It's you have to write describe.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming here.
Oh,
It's
it's
coming, it's
working?
coming.
Okay.
Yes. Because you have selected the first row as well as second row. Already table is existing. The table, since it is existing, you can't create it. It was giving error. You need to select single line. That line you need to execute.
So
Yeah.
he's right, sir. He's right. He's writing all commands here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this again going to little complexity you have in this. You need to launch this, then after that you need to work. So
Yeah.
you will do this also. But more memory is required in such cases.
That's right. You're right.
Fine. So we'll meet tomorrow. Some other session is waiting for me.
Okay.